welcome to another session of Wear Many Hats, the Facilities Management Podcast. Today we have a wonderful guest with us, and the first female that I have interviewed at Wear Many Hats, that's Tarniah Thompson. She is the Head of FM and Sustainability at SHW Property. Welcome, Tarniah.
Thank you very much for having me, Rachel.
I'm very pleased that you're here. I really am. It's nice to see another female have changed.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. So we'll kick straight off, because I reckon me and you are going to talk quite a lot, because we was having quite a chat before we started. So
no pressure then.
No pressure. It's all about you. But let's rewind a bit. Where did it all start for you? Because you've got a great bit of history there.
Oh, so where did it start for me? So I started in Workspace Group. That was my first kind of exposure to facilities. And I started, and I'm smiling now because it's bringing back really good memories. So I started in a site called the Biscuit Factory in Bermondsey.
Yes.
And yeah, it was a fantastic place to work. It was a business complex, and I was there as a receptionist, front of house receptionist. And, to be honest, everything just grew from there. I was there for, I think it was just over a year. And then I moved to another site so I was promoted from there, and I went on to Kennington Park Business Centre. Yeah, big site. So for at the time when we moved over, it's nothing like what it is now. The Workspace HQ is based there now, and you've got Pure Gym, and it's really like a really lovely hub. But I was lucky to be a part of that at the very beginning as the works were being done, and as it was growing. So yeah, that was I was assistant manager there. Assistant centre manager, and I got exposed to refurbishment and dilapidations, and it was my first kind of exposure into property management, really. And it then took me on a path that I went to follow down the route of property management, or I then wanted to look at facilities management, which, at the time when I was looking to get into facilities management, which is where my passion was, it wasn't really spoken about. So it wasn't very, bit niche. And I remember at the time going and studying for what was a BIFM, but today it's called IWFM.
Yeah.
So I went and studied that, and I did that as evening class. Yeah. So I did that as an evening class, and I remember going there and studying with a great group of people that I have on my LinkedIn today. So which is lovely. And then when I studied there, I passed my my certification on that, and then I went on to the cooperative group. So then I joined as a facilities client partner. So I was in the cooperative group, and that allowed me to then kind of pivot into more retail. Because I think when I was back at Workspace, I loved the fact of the mixed use development. So from offices, light industrial, which was available at Workspace. And at the time they were branching out to a project called Club Workspace, which is now today your traditional service office.
Yeah.
So I had those under my belt, and I thought, right, okay, I want to pivot. I want to get more experience in the different types of property. So I went and joined the cooperative, and that was a real good, training for me, because with retail, especially the cooperative, it's late night closing, early hours opening, different kinds of tasks and things to get on with. It was very, very different. And I think until you join that kind of organisation where you're dealing with that kind of retail, nothing prepares you for it, because obviously you've got retail in residential areas and certain challenges of dealing with noise and residential. So yeah, absolutely. And, when you've got commercial mixed with residential, you kind of have to really be on the ball. But and I do a special shout out to my manager at the time, Carl Plant. He was great, who I worked with there. Really showed me the ropes in trying to, navigate and really learn and take that learning experience. So once I kind of developed from there, I then went on to Jones Lang LaSalle. So yeah, so at the time it was for working for Regent Street. So Regent Street Management Director at the time, and then it moved over to Jones Lang LaSalle as a managing agent there. And again, another job I absolutely loved, working with the different people there, the shops. It opened my eyes up. So I've done obviously retail, co-op is a different kind of clientele, and then you've got, which is more residential, where the co-op shops are. And then you go over to Regent Street, which is very different end of the scale. So I was on the west side, and a lot of my main client there was Apple. So Apple's flagship was over there. So I was based in Hanover Street. So I was over there with them. So, which is the first, absolutely. And when I joined Regent Street, it's nothing like what it is today. It was in the infancy stages of developing the sustainability element. Now you've got plants and that as you go down the street. That wasn't there before. We were very much at the stage of trying to look at putting roof gardens on on the terraces and things like that. And I was working with a lady called Julie Hogarth, who was sustainability manager at the time. So, the very start of the sustainability, how do we implement sustainability into buildings, and everyone's doing roof gardens and things like that, which are fabulous. But at the time, Rachel, I think that, I think we wanted to do that, and it comes to little things you tweak and you learn. But we're putting roofs on roof gardens on roof terraces buildings, and having to think about the water drainage and things like that, and managing those kind of things. And things have developed so much since then, but back then that's where we were at. So we did a lot of that, and absolutely 100%. And sometimes you have to take a bit of that with sustainability, learning, developing, etc. So yeah, but that was a fantastic role. And then from there, I moved on to my current role at SHW. So yeah, I'm there now.
So we'll talk second. But did you always know that you would sort of end up on this path in facilities management? Where you've mentioned a couple of people, but is there anyone? Why did you go into workspace?
Yeah,
that is properties.
Yeah, what you mean in terms of facilities management?
How did you sort of get into it? No, you were going to go there.
No, I think if you'd asked my 7 or 8 year old self, what would you want to be when you grow older, I probably would have turned around and said something in the beauty industry or something like that, But it wasn't until when I was younger, I went off and did beauty school, and then I did a job as a temp, as a receptionist, just to get extra money. And I was working as a receptionist on just doing this temporary contract. And this lady came in. I think if anyone's read my articles before, and I think I've told this story, but basically I was on reception, and there was this lady that used to come through the reception, and she was always full of life and so happy, bouncing, and she'd come in, and I used to be, quite envious of that. She used to come into the office and go out and come in, and I was like, what does she do? So when she came in, I always used to see her, and she's come in and she's always talk to me, and I say, well, what is it that you do? She goes, I'm a facilities manager, and I was like, what's that then? Yeah. So she explained to me what it was she did. And that was where it landed. And I didn't have the qualifications or that at the time, But I then decided to sort out companies that worked and operated in the property sector to give me that way into building. And I basically made it my hellbent mission to be an FM. And that is where it originally stemmed from.
That lady is.
No, I would love to know her name, and I even just
show.
I know.
It'd be great to mention her.
Yeah.
This is where it began. Now, all right.
Yeah, now you're making me think now. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to do that.
That is pretty incredible. So someone put the seed in your planted.
Absolutely.
And ran with it. So I guess that was the lady that gave you.
Yeah, 100%.
I wonder what would happen if it wasn't like that, you know?
Yeah. I think that maybe if I probably wasn't in property, it'd probably be something along the lines of psychology or something like that. But something else I enjoy. But I mean, FM feeds my passion. So I love the sector. So I don't think, I was hell-bent on joining the sector anyway, Rachel. So I think I would have been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from recruitment.
Yeah.
I would have placed a receptionist like yourself.
Yeah.
And I've seen people grow in their career, especially these service officers.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people go through. So yeah, it's lovely to be. You don't see them as receptionists. That's something shown and then they're directors now.
Yeah.
I've seen that, So let's talk about sort of SHW. What do you guys do over there? I know you've got sort of like a commercial and a residential sort of interest. What do you do?
So effectively a managing agent. So we have 3 divisions. I don't want to be crucified here. I'm not recalling. Yeah. So we've got 3 divisions. We've got property management. We've also got agency. We then got, actually it's 4. Yeah, so we've got property management, agency, we've got building consultancy, and then we've got rating and valuation. And I'm hoping that my colleagues are cheering for me remembering all that.
No pressure.
No pressure. 4 departments and also 4 divisions, and we basically cover predominantly the southeast region. Yeah, absolutely. But that is not the only offering. We do have 3 divisions, but we also do planning, architecture, and we also do our sustainability section, which falls within my team. And absolutely.
In your part. So what does a day look like for you in your world now?
Oh, my day, Rachel, is very varied. Wear many hats. Exactly. You plugging that one in. Yeah. Wear many hats. But absolutely. No 2 days are the same. And probably we could probably count how many people's been on your episodes, and they probably say no 2 days are the same. It is the truth. Sometimes for a day for me might be on the road. I'm going to a site inspection, or it might be I'm going to do a quality site inspection for quality assurance to check on the FM teams to see what they're doing on site. I also FM my own properties, so it might be working with some of my clients on that, or the property managers. But for me, it's generally between a site. So being on site or in one of our SHW offices, or on the phone, generally.
Yes.
Yeah. Or Teams call. Yeah.
They're very busy.
Yeah. And managing a team.
Is it a big team?
Yeah, so there's, well, I'm going to count now. Roughly, there's about 10, 11.
That you manage?
Yeah. Hi, team. Yeah.
SHW property.
Yeah.
So what challenges are you what's testing you right now? Is there anything that, like really getting to you?
So the area that I look after, Rachel, so it's split over three. So we've got risk management, and then we've got sustainability in FM. So it depends what hat you want to wear. Yeah. But on the FM side, it's working with quality contractors. That is, in terms that we're aligned with those contractors, really, and them being able to deliver. I think we live in such a fast-paced society where even sometimes the demands, we're requiring for our contractors, we expect. And we expect, we want quality, absolutely. So that on one side, but also as well, technology. Yeah. But I'll hold on that one, and I'll hold on that one. Technology, but then the flip side to sustainability, you're looking at data. Is a big pull on that, and the requirements to reduce carbon, and the money that's required to plug in to get return on investment. Mm-hmm. And so that's on the sustainability side, and the constant change of landscape over there. And when I say landscape, I don't mean your lawn. I'm talking about, the background, what's needed. And then in terms of your health and safety risk is being able to keep up with that demand whilst, operationally being apt. So a lot
of challenges there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So gosh, good luck with all that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So where do you think the industry's heading now? What sort of excites you? We've spoken a little bit there about tech. We've got AI.
Yeah.
What's you guys using that at the moment? What excites you about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that as a company for SHW, we're quite forward thinking and quite open to the tech that we use and that we implement across the business. We work with a really good IT team, a really good, that really understand that technology is moving, and we have to have an open mind to what's out there in the market, but at the same time not jumping at every new bit of equipment that comes out, and trying to be a bit more mindful, wanting to be able to deliver to our clients, but also at the same time this technology that we're using, being able to make sure it's efficient for the staff to use, and making sure it's the right bit of equipment that we're bringing in, the right technology that we're bringing in, and that we can move and make sure that we're agile enough to be able to move through the property sector, being able to continue to deliver a good service. So in terms of AI, yes. So we do love a bit of AI, and we're looking at how we can integrate it more within the business, how it can help us advance our services and improve what we're delivering as a service, but also as well the efficiency. I think I've mentioned already the efficiency is key, being able to deliver and do things a lot faster. I think, we absolutely. Well, yeah.
Tool, but there's balance, I guess, isn't
there? 100%. But at the same time, not moving too fast with AI, because I think, AI has to grow and it has to develop, it has to learn, and just being on the trajectory, not being at the forefront, being able to learn from other businesses and take that on board and see what other companies are doing and saying how that would best work for us. But definitely looking at implementing that. And like I said, our IT team are very, very forward in that. I don't think that there's been any kind of equipment that we've kind of said, that they haven't at least listened to the thought of implementing especially for service delivery.
So it's definitely a friend of yours then.
Yes, we love a bit of AI.
So we've mentioned a little bit about sustainability. What about ESG? That's the buzzword at the moment. What does it mean to you and your work? Obviously, you've been involved in by the looks of it for quite a while.
So ESG for me is being able to deliver something that's sustainable. That's the nuts and bolts of it. And I say something that's sustainable, if it's operationally sustainable, the building that's sustainable, a service that's sustainable, being able to continuously deliver something and deliver something that is sustainable. So it's looking at, preserving things for future years, carbon reduction, but positive carbon reduction. Again, that is absolutely for the environment, but also something that's sustainable. There's no point in saying that you're going to make X amount of reduction if that's not feasible. Some of the clients that we've done projects for, we've done decarbonisation projects for, or an EPC strategy for, it's looking at a goal that is sustainable and that you can meet. There's no point in trying to cut the corners. It's not sustainable. So when we look at ESG, it's looking at the environment and then the social element and the governance piece behind it to make sure that you can continue it for future years.
Great way for businesses to work with this.
Yeah.
Must and necessity, isn't it?
Yeah, I think also as well, it's brought businesses together in a sense, because I think a lot of businesses are experiencing the same pressure points. A lot of businesses are being asked to report on their carbon, so therefore we're almost uniting as businesses and saying, I've got to report on my carbon. How do I do it? Where do I start? What do I have to do? I've been to networking events where I've seen, many people from different sectors all sitting in chairs because where do I start? What do we do? Where do I start with this? I've got to do my scope 1, scope 2 reporting, what does that mean? So I think a lot of businesses, and as legislation is going to be changing, this is going to be a demand. And that's what I was kind of alluding to earlier when I was saying about with contractors aligning. It's got to be right the way through, because when you're asked to report on this data, it needs to be readily available.
Accountable.
Absolutely. 100%.
So do you think the industry's innovating fast enough, or are we still playing catch up? Obviously, you've been in the property market pretty much your whole career.
Yeah.
So you've obviously worked through a number of years. We obviously had COVID. How did that impact you? Because you must have been at your start of your at the beginning of SHW.
I started SHW in June 2020. So COVID kicked off, obviously, March. Funny enough, I actually had my interview in March. But yeah, so basically, it was. And then I started in June 2020. It was stark. I mean, buildings were empty, sites had no people, there were no one on the road.
It was very eerie.
Scary. And because when I remember actually walking onto site, no one actually being there. I'm thinking I'm doing a site inspection and no one's here, and then knocking on, I think 1 or 2 people would be in, and then you'd have stairwells where one you can only go one was up. So one way up, one way down, and, standing on these dots on the floor, and every corner you turned was an anti-back, to anti-back your hands. And it was eerie. But I think that COVID played a pivotal point for how we operate. For some people, it pressed a much needed pause button to just stand back and reset and just have a look at what we're doing here. But also as well in terms of how we operate buildings, I think that a lot of landlords, clients, managing agents then had a look at how we're operating buildings. And how that contributes to, on the sustainability side, their carbon. But it also made it feasible for hybrid working. So with the hybrid working element, adapting those buildings for longer working hours, so not your traditional Monday to Friday 9 to 5. It meant that as a sector we had to be more agile for how we are operating the business, those buildings and the businesses within them, to be flexible for those hybrid workers. And it also meant that we had to have more coverage. We had to look at, how we were present in those buildings. So I think that COVID played a good part in that. And I think we're not playing catch up. For me personally, I think that it was much needed to be able to have a look.
Change.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of people benefit from that.
Very definitely. So let's just hope we don't get another one. I don't need that.
No.
It's a lot.
No.
It's a lot. But looking back, what moment or project are you still very proud of today? You've obviously mentioned a couple that you've worked on, but you can have a few. But yeah, what comes to mind that you've done in your career and go, I'm really proud of?
I would say probably the FM team I've built today. No, I'd probably say the FM team that we've got on board. I mean, in terms of the things that they work through, being able to, sometimes when I hold the FM team meetings, to have them sit round the table and see them interact and help each other and support each other. It's definitely something that I'd say I'm proud of. I think most of them I've done all their interviews, recruited. So I think that
you built this team.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. That's my tribe. Yeah. Yeah, it's my tribe. Yeah. 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 She's stuck. She's no pressure, Paula. But yeah, no, that's what I'd probably say, Rachel, because what's been built is the for them to work together, tap into each other's skill set. Sometimes I don't even have to be involved for them to help one another. So I think that shows a lot, and I think it demonstrates sometimes as a sector for FM. People that can lean on each other and, help each other out and things like that. So I think it's absolutely. Yeah. Yes, because we've also got a sustainability lead within our... Yeah. Well, I'm head of sustainability, but you've got a colleague of mine, Caroline, she's sustainability lead. So she sits within the team. So for her, it's been good to see how she's shown other members of the team and helped integrate sustainability into the way we do FM. So sharing that knowledge and knowledge sharing between the team is really good. And to know that if the team's got problems, they can then tap into each other and knowledge share and things like that. That's really, really good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
So what's something you wish you knew when you were just starting out?
How hard FM could be, but also how rewarding it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard, it's testing, but it's also rewarding. And I think that's probably why so many people say the same thing, right, Rachel, because I think that you can also see the fruits of your labour afterwards, and it's nice to be able to stand back and go, actually, I've put that together, or that building's moving, or, tenants are happy with that piece of work, or whatever it may be.
Feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
But ruffled for smooth, especially. It'd be quite thick-skinned, I think, to be able to take on some of the pressures that you have.
Yeah.
Get quite a lot of knocks, I would have thought.
Yeah. 100%. And sometimes you do get those days when the problems come thick and fast through the door, and you're playing catch up, or you're dealing with one thing and it's non-stop, and all of a sudden you think, oh, it's end of day, and the time's just gone so quick. But at the same time, then sometimes you think, actually, I've got through all of that, and you give yourself a bit of a pat on the shoulder and go, actually, knock that one out. That's really good.
So working. Thick skin to get to read them.
100%.
So if someone said to you tomorrow saying, I want to do what you do, what would you say to them?
I would say do 2 weeks work experience first. Get an insight to it, because I wouldn't just jump into FM, because it could take a certain person to really have the grit to persevere. So I'd take 2 weeks training or working alongside somebody first. And also as well, if you do get the opportunity to do that, I would say work alongside them, take notes, and take all the training you can, and observe and persevere with it. And sometimes you will get hard days, but you do get good days too. Rewarding days, yes.
So let's talk about So what do you do outside of work? What do you like to do outside your day job? Can't work. Some people are, but you can't if you've got.
I've got two young ones, so I have 2 sons. So in my spare time with them, I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, I'm not going to lie. So, you could catch me up doing Ninja Warrior, trampoline park, I know, for my sins. You could zip lining, zip wires, you name it. We've been, I think, couple of weeks back, we did tobogganing. Random stuff.
How exciting!
But the thing is, they love to do things a little bit outside of So no. But things like camping and being outside. A lot of we did a little while back. We did camper van.
Yes,
and we drove we just got in a motorhome and just went for it. And we had nowhere booked, no pictures or anything, but we just literally took it and just went. No, it was brilliant. But it's a bit, sometimes, because in my job, it can be quite, you've got to be versatile and agile, but sometimes it can be quite regimented in terms of compliance, health and safety. In my personal, I like to just, exactly. I just want to let loose, go out and be a bit spontaneous. Yeah. Probably I am the risk assessment. Oh, no. I would love to. I've done the wind tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
I've done that, and they say that's similar to jumping out of a plane, apparently, the wind tunnel. I don't know. But
what's the feeling of that one?
Yeah. Opinion on that one, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, maybe one day.
Oh, yeah. Look out for the picture.
So what's the best bit of advice that anyone's ever given you that you can pass on to our younger listeners coming into the FM world? Doesn't have to be work related either.
Just be you. And because when I came into facilities management, it was a predominantly male industry. So it predominantly male industry. When was that? 14 years ago? About 14, 15 years ago. It's predominantly male. So I I was one of few women in FM. So it was very much of, you sit around table with many other male FMs, etc. And sometimes you had to, force the point and force your opinion, and, come with a certain kind of grit. But as time's gone on, someone said to me, and it wasn't until I'd say in the last two years or so, someone said to me, just be you. And it was a mentor of mine that just said, just be you. Just say it how you're saying it to me now. Just be you. So, I literally was like, right, okay, and being able to just be myself and I think since that point, I've been able to say to other people, it might be you, and, bring that,
Not to be anyone else. Just bring yourself. Bring your authentic self.
100%. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tarniah. I've really enjoyed interviewing you today. And I'm sure
you're so welcome.
Team going to love hearing this. Thanks for the moral support.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
Yeah. Nice thing to do that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
Female perspective. That'd be great for any listeners to reach out to Tarniah Thompson on LinkedIn for any questions. But thanks again. And
thank you, Rachel. Cheers.
Welcome. And that's the end of our show today with Tarniah Thompson from SHW Property. Next time, we'll be bringing on another super guest. So stay tuned and stay listened. And also forward and share with your friends and anyone that you think might need to hear this. But have a wonderful day.